Okay, hello everyone who is watching our YouTube live stream or the recording of this week's growth call. I'm Christoph Atteneder and I'm your host today. As always, I posted the Google Hangout invite link in the chat on the left, so you can just click it and join us here in the Hangout as well. If you just want to watch this live stream on YouTube, feel free to post any questions or just say hello or from which country you're from in the live chat next to the video, and we try to monitor it on a regular basis, and in the end of the meeting we'll get to all the questions that are posted in the chat. As you might know, our next Liquidity Week will be for British pounds and Bitcoin, and will take place in the first week of April, so next week, starting on Monday, so from the 2nd to 8th of April. We'll also answer all your questions about it. So if you want to participate and there are some points that are not clear to you, feel free to ask us during the call. Also, if you have some specific questions on this platform, and we still have some time left today, we have also Mike. Sorry, I want to say we have Chris and Manfred, if he gets the internet connection figured out, also in the call, and they are the best ones to answer all your specific questions regarding Bisq. We also, what I wanted to say, have Bernard. How do you pronounce your name? Bernard?
Yep, exactly.
Bernard, perfect. In the call today, who is working together with Mike Russell on an API to be able to trade without using a Bisq client manually. He will give us a quick overview on the current state of the project and on the planned release date, maybe even. If you, just as one last reminder before I'm getting into it, if you're watching us live, and especially if you're from the UK, feel free to join us here in the Google Hangout. For everyone who is joining us for the first time and maybe don't know, Bisq is the only real decentralized fiat cryptocurrency exchange out there. So you can exchange national currencies like pounds with Bitcoin, or you can also exchange crypto with other cryptocurrencies. Our growth calls, like the one today, are about exchanging learnings on how to grow the Bisq network. We decided end of last year, to focus for the next couple of months, especially on growing liquidity on Bisq. That means that we want to increase the number of buy and sell offers available on the platform. As today's call is also about the upcoming Liquidity Week, I just want to explain really quickly what we actually mean with a Liquidity Week. It's 1 week where everyone who is participating tries to have one buy and one sell offer available all the time to kickstart and push a market. Everyone who participates not only supports decentralized exchanges like Bisq, but will also receive 20 BSQ tokens on top. The BSQ token itself has different utilities within the Bisq DAO, which will be released within the next couple of months. So you can vote with the BSQ token, you can transfer it, buy, sell it, and you can pay the trading fees with it. If you do want to know more about the Bisq DAO, there is a white paper. I will post the links in the description below, as always, or you can watch our first tech session with Manfred and Chris, where they also talked about the Bisq DAO in some detail. I'll post the links in the description afterwards. So before we get into the liquidity itself, I want to let Bernard talk a little bit about the project they are working on at the moment and what it's all about. Bernard, do you want to take it over from here?
Sure.
Perfect. I will
share my screen.
I will start present to everyone. Let me see. So, why does it not working? Just a sec.
Let me know if you can.
Just 1 sec. I will mute myself. I will try to click on present to everyone, but it's not working. Chris, yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Can you see my screen?
You're good to go, Bernard.
Okay. Okay, so hello everyone. I would like to give you a brief update about the Bisq API. Our goal is to make some of the Bisq functionality accessible from outside of the desktop client. We hope to allow third parties to create trading bots or probably even a backend, a mobile client based on this API. We already have some demo exposed. For example, we got Alice, Bob, and Arbitrator in reg test mode, and we've got also Alice on the mainnet. So if we go here, you can see our Swagger documentation for those endpoints, and each of those tabs has a list of related endpoints. And for example, if you would like to create a payment account, you go here, you see that the model is payment account, and Swagger is not perfect. There's like a lot of polymorphic payment accounts. So you can go down here to model section, look for payment account, and then you will have all those Alipay, Cash App, and all the rest of the accounts, and you see exactly what kind of payload you have to provide. So that might be the case with other endpoints. If you want to go to other endpoints, other instances of the API, for example, the Bob, just click on this link. You can see it's just a different subdomain. We can go to arbitrators, check if we have any arbitrators here. Yeah, we've got 2 guys. We can also see if we have any accepted ones. Yeah, that one is the one that we have accepted. And we have also endpoints for other stuff, and we currently are able to cover the entire flow. So create offer, take offer, set up payment accounts, mark trade that payment has started, that payment has been received, and we can move funds back to the Bisq wallet. Source code is available here under Microsoft's account, the Bisq API. Here's a small command that you can use to run this app. The app can be run both in the headless mode and in GUI mode. So depending on which main class you use here, the different type of app will start. Most of those commands are used for the reg test environment, and they are already, those values are specified for the Docker compose setup that we've got for you. Yeah, so we've got the Docker compose file. It will bring up Alice, Bob, Arbitrator, and additionally Bitcoin node and seed node. And here you've got ports. So Alice is on port 8080, Bob is 8081. And basically you need only those 3 guys to go through the entire trade process. We have also integration tests. If you want to, you always have to remember to build the containers up front because integration tests run in Docker containers. We also have support scripts. So if you bring up the entire network, meaning the Bob, Alice, and arbitrator, you can run this offer make or offer take scripts, and they will invoke, they will hit endpoints on proper APIs with proper payloads to simulate the entire flow. So I encourage you to inspect those to see what payloads exactly and what endpoints in what order should be invoked. This is still work in progress. We are aware of one critical bug that behind the Docker, some offers are disappearing. Probably this is something with network we're still investigating. And beware that there is no authentication yet. So it's not too secure thing unless you're using it only through localhost.
Okay, so if I understood it correctly, do you want to I have an echo. Do you have headphones? I will just.
Nice picture.
Yeah, nice picture. I would just stop presenting. My question was, so if I want to see what and try out some use cases with the API, I can use the rec test URL you just posted, and all of the API calls like create offer, they will work, and I can simulate a whole workflow. Is it correct?
Yes. Well, sometimes we restart the containers to upload the newer version, and sometimes there is not enough Bitcoin there because this is in rec test. But we're trying to, whenever we upload the new version, we try to remember to load those guys with appropriate Bitcoins so that you can trade.
And is it kind of a separate application? So I'm not aware about the details, or does it talk with the Bisq client itself, and the Bisq client runs in a headless mode as well? Or is it something?
Yes, those are 3 separate Docker containers with headless versions of the API.
Mm-hmm. Besides the one bug you mentioned, is there something that holds you off for kind of giving it out to a wider audience for testing, or is it at the moment what would help you to finish off this API integration? Do you need some guys to test it, or do you need just feedback on the API?
That would be very helpful if somebody from community would give it a try and run it locally and try creating some scripts maybe and testing it. But we also are pretty far behind the core Bisq because we're using 0.67 version as a base. And since a lot has changed, we need to spend some time on upgrading the dependencies to the and there is also those endpoints have a lot of copy paste from the core, basically from the UI, and we need to spend some time with the core team to figure out how we could refactor the core so that the REST API doesn't duplicate the code.
May I just make a comment what you said before, that the offers are disappearing? It seems that the refresh message is not get started. When this disappearing of the offers happens around 5 minutes more or less, or 7 minutes, then it's probably this. So check out the code of the Open Offer Manager where the refresh messages are started in a timer, in a continuous timer, and probably that's missing, I assume. Another question, sorry, I had internet connection problems, so I missed most of the presentation. But is the original concept that it's basically the Bisq desktop application run in a special mode, or is this still in place, or did you change it already? It's a completely headless version.
Depending on which class you use to bootstrap, you can run either in headless or together with the UI.
So you can run it completely headless,
yes,
without any dependency of the on the desktop version.
Yes, current demo instances run as Docker inside Docker containers. So
okay, great. And the UI part is probably only just kind of like convenience when you want to do something which the API does not support at the moment, right?
Yes, but regarding the trade, like it supports almost everything. So it's mostly to verify.
But I mean, when you want to, doing something on the wallet or creating the accounts or the payment accounts, I'm not sure how complete the API is already. Yeah.
We've got full CRUD of payment accounts, and also we're able to list all the address entries. But since we last spoke, we wanted to hide some stuff to reflect exactly the same as in the UI. We have one endpoint. We just need to write integration tests for withdrawing funds from various addresses.
Okay, cool.
And Bernard, if someone wants to try it out or help you or contribute to the project, what's the best way to contact you guys?
We are available daily on Slack. So there's channel mrossel Bisq API, but you can just ask on any other channel and you will reach us there. Check out the code. You can report issues there. Yeah, we're waiting for your feedback.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah, would be great if we get some very simple trading bot script connected with the API, so that we have really a use case that will help liquidity a lot when when professional market makers have the opportunity to use a trading bot to use Bisq. I think that's one of the biggest barrier for attracting those kind of people, because they're too lazy to do it manually.
Yeah, that's true. One more question, Bernard, because you posted it recently in the channel on Slack. Are you also planning to create a mobile prototype that uses your API?
Yes, we are already I know 70% ready with this. So it's written in Ionic. And so it's a hybrid approach. We'll be able to compile both Android and iOS versions out of that. Yeah, and probably by the end of April we should have something working. But then there will be this big thing of setting up the API actually. Either in the cloud or I know on some servers. So, but the demo should be ready like late April.
Cool. So it's a kind of like a light client which is talking with the API.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Do you have something to show already, or is it too early? Probably. Just curious.
No, I haven't got it, and I haven't got it yet ready for the demo. So probably next week I could demo something.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Yeah, and also, so if I understood it correctly, if the API is ready, then I would also be able to use the API in one of the upcoming liquidity weeks to automatically create offers. If one of my offers is taken, I would be able to get this information out of the API, and I would be able to automatically create new offers on the fly and do at least most of the trading part automatically without being in front of the computer.
Correctly, if you have skill to write the scripts.
For sure, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for one remark on that suppose that the liquidity week that you're doing Bitcoin to the British pounds, of course, the part of your bank account, you will probably not be able to automate that unless you have a very good bank. So that's something to take into account.
Yeah. I mean, the fiat side will never probably be really fully automatable. I mean, much more interesting will be for the altcoins, because there you can really make a fully automated trade. The main thing, the feature what's missing there is to have the lookup on the altcoin block explorer, which also doesn't work on Monero, for instance, but all the others theoretically should work. It's still a little bit tricky because there can be ambiguity. You only know the receiver address of the guy, but you can use it for several trades at the same time, even with the same amount. So you don't actually really know if if this trader A has paid or another trader has paid. So it's a little bit more complex, and maybe it requires some additional data structure so to really cover this securely. But I think, for a first start or so, in most cases, I think it should work good enough to check.
Well, of course, since the creation of the payment accounts is now also automated, you could maybe create one payment account per trade, so that you have each time a new address.
That's an idea somehow. I mean, we could extend the payment account that you have kind of like multiple addresses at the moment, and maybe split it up with sending or receiving addresses. Initially, I didn't do this to keep it as simple as possible, but maybe something like this, or maybe that you're putting it in a pool of addresses and they get kind of like marked as used, so you cannot reuse the same address twice or whatever.
Yeah,
it would also help you privacy probably.
They're just allowed that you can have 3 Monero payment accounts. They just have to have another name, but that would also work.
Yeah, I think on Monero probably there is no way that you can do it automatically because you cannot look it up.
Well, but I think if you have a full node, you will probably be able to do it. Then you just need the view key of your account, and then you can look it up.
That you are looking, that you are looking locally up when you have received it. That's when both traders have a full node and such API connected to their Monero node, that should work. That's true. Yeah, that might be a nice addition. Maybe some Monero dev guy is interested to help us here.
Yeah. Also, if someone who is watching us live at the moment, if you have a question regarding the API, feel free to write the questions in the live chat on the left, and we'll try to answer them. Besides this activity on the API, at the moment we still have to do everything manually within the Bisq client itself. So if you want to join us on the British Pound Bitcoin Liquidity Week next week, I want just to give you the quick couple of steps that you need to do to be prepared. So it's quite easy. Of course, you need the Bisq client to be installed on your machine, and you should add all the payment methods you want to use. So if you want to use faster payments, or SEPA, or national bank transfer, or Revolut. At the moment, most of the payments in the Bitcoin British pounds market are done by faster payments by far. So this would be a good payment method also to use, but of course it's completely up to you what you want to use. What you also need, of course, is an account where you can send and receive British pounds. So either you have an account at a national bank, but if you want to support Bisq and you're not based in the UK, what you also can do, that you create an account at Revolut, which you can easily do from everywhere in Europe, for example. And there you can create also a British pound account, and you can join the Liquidity Week, although you are not based in the UK itself. So that works really well. And of course, you need some Bitcoins to be able to trade. So if you have this ready by Monday, then on Monday, you just fire up the client, create one buy, one sell offer. You can choose any amount you want to trade, you're feeling comfortable, any market distance. And when one of your offers are taken down or is taken, then it would be great if you can just create another offer. So you always try to keep one buy and one sell offer available in this market all the time. But yeah, if you say, yeah, I can't do it for 7 days, I can only join the Liquidity Week for 5 days, that's fine, absolutely. So if you can just run it for a couple of days, that's also awesome, yeah. There's a question. Yeah, one question regarding the API for you, Bernard. Fubagorge is asking, how does the API handle its own wallet? I'm actually not 100% sure if the wallet features are required or optional in regular Bisq.
Well, it's just delegating to the core Bisq, so exactly the same as through the current UI to the desktop client. So it's internal Bisq wallet.
And okay, and he's also asking now, what are your thoughts about leaving offers open overnight? Is it bad etiquette to handle offers with several hours latency?
Maybe I say something to this, but that's not an issue at all, as it's not like local Bitcoin where the traders expect that you react in the next half hour or whatever. I mean, as long as the trade gets completed in the period of the trade, that's fine, and that's usually 1 day. So half a day delay overnight so is not an issue.
Yeah, I also didn't have any issues when I was trading. Of course, the smaller the distance, the price distance is from the market price. So if you use this market price-based feature in Bisq, if you choose 1% or 0%, then offers are taken quite quickly normally. So and if you're using faster payments, then until fulfillment, it can be really a matter of hours, minutes. It really depends on the payment methods mostly. Just quickly looking back to my list. Yeah, to talk about today in the YouTube Hangout, or is there any other question, maybe not regarding the Liquidity Week, but a general question regarding Bisq? You can also ask us in the live chat. If not, then it's a shorter growth call today. It was really interesting. Thanks, Bernard and Mike, for joining the call and explaining your project to everyone. I'm really excited to try it out for the first time. Maybe I'll give it a spin next week. And also thanks Chris and Manfred for joining. And one last time, so if you're from the UK and you want to support Bisq, now is your chance. On Monday on the British Pounds Bitcoin Liquidity Week. And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because next week, Chris, am I right? Next week will be another tech talk, a tech session.
Yeah, we just did the second one this week on Bisq's peer-to-peer network. So if you're technical and want to find out about that, just look back through our YouTube channel and you can see that. You can go back to the first one that we did a few weeks ago, which is a general technical overview of Bisq. And we're going to do another next week, probably on the trade protocol. And we'll keep doing these. We intend to do them every week for at least the next few weeks as we go through the major technical areas of Bisq. And the whole idea around that is to provide resources to help other developers level up and do the kind of work that Mike is doing and Bernard is doing now. Right? This is exactly what we want to see as people coming in and taking charge and building useful things on and around Bisq. So yeah, stay tuned for that next week.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I like the sessions a lot. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining us today in the live YouTube stream in the Google Hangout, and see you again on latest Thursday next week, where we'll give you kind of a live update on the Liquidity Week, and also on the next tech session that might be even earlier in the upcoming week. So talk to you soon. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.